step inside Delamain limousine. You leave your problems
Not bad.
at the door.
And on that note, welcome to another theory video. And today we are talking about the Delamain AI taxi cab service in the Cyberpunk universe. This luxury, premium, and surprisingly safe business that's exclusively used by the richest people in the most dangerous city you could imagine is quite profitable. But how much would it cost for you, yes, you, to start this kind of business, you might ask? Well, this video is all about the cost of the Delamain luxury taxi service. So let's start with the price of one single Delamain cab and work from there. The base car model, which is a Villefort Cortez, is worth 28,000 Euro dollars, which is equal to 56,000 USD. The Delamain version is outfitted with bulletproof glass and a bulletproof exterior, which is stated to be military grade. So in order to calculate how much it would have cost Delamain to bulletproof one car, I did research on a company called ArmorMax, which broke it down way better and more accurate than I ever could. They break down each part of the car that is taken into consideration when developing bulletproof technology and give a price to it. Doors and windows alone can cost anywhere from $18,000 to $45,000. The total cost of bulletproofing a whole vehicle can get up to about $100,000. While $100,000 might sound like a lot of money, basing my calculations on that statement alone is not why you are here. We need a little more detail and information to go on. The door and ceiling of a car, which also considers not only bullets but shock and fire resistance, has a price baseline at about $8,000. So we have doors, ceiling, and windows. Now on to tires and the engine. The tire costs somewhere between $650 and $900 per tire, and the engine's about $5,000 to $10,000. If I add the averages of all the pricing here, I'm still not satisfied with the results. The total comes out to about $42,800 in upgrades, not including the car price. Instead of doing the pricing per vehicle in that strategy, I needed to use better data. I mean, come on, the Delamain tanked a shoulder check from Adam Smasher. This thing needs to be top of the line. I decided to pick two vehicles from their website in order to show the two types of Delamain cars available, since the wiki states there are about 20 armored cars as opposed to 50 total cars in Delamain services. I assume the distinction between the two is 28 are bulletproof and approximately 22 are really bulletproof. So for the 28 bulletproof Delamain cars, I compared them to the Genesis G90 sedan, in order to get a good rough estimate for the price the cheaper models would cost, which ArmorMax priced at about $142,000. For the 22 seriously armored cars, I compared them to the best and most stylish car ArmorMax provided, which was the S-Guard Mercedes-Benz. Another reason I chose this vehicle is simply because it looks the closest to the Delamain. ArmorMax states each car would be practically $1.5 million per vehicle. This sort of pricing makes way more sense. These things need to be top of the line to be able to survive what we saw in Compeki Plaza. Each vehicle also has healthcare provided. Since it's based on a client system, in order to determine how much that could theoretically cost, I took the average of 4 pretty big medical companies' rates at varying ages and figured out the mean price of every baseline service offered. So I pulled the average cost of health insurance by company utilizing Blue Cross / Blue Shield, Kaiser Permanente, Aetna, and United Healthcare. That number comes out to about $620 per vehicle. Now there is one more thing I'm going to briefly mention before finishing the total calculation. It is mentioned that there's a rocket launcher in the back of the Delamain, so I'm just going to use the same price from my Adam Smasher video and incorporate that exact launcher into the Delamain calculations. $163,970.08 times 50 vehicles, which equals $8,198,504. Now we tie everything together. The Mercedes Model S version of the Delamain, the super tough one, is equal to 1.5 million times 22, so approximately $33 million. The Genesis version of the Delamain equals approximately $140,000 times 28, which is about $3.9 million. Which, if you add both models together, plus the cost of healthcare provided, which is about $31,000 every month, the full value of Delamain's vehicles is $45,118,504 plus $31K a month. So that number represents what I would call the startup costs for the company. If you were to just straight up buy every single vehicle and bring in the calculations for the monthly fees of the health insurance, that is approximately how much it would cost to start Delamain services. I never brought into account the factory or the manufacturing of the vehicles, simply because I feel like that's outside of the scope. Since the main focus of this video was just to price out the taxi cabs, I didn't really take into consideration like the logistics of things, like getting parts, where you're going to outsource them from, all that sort of stuff that you would give to like a professional business owner. But I feel like for time's sake, just pricing out the vehicles is good enough. However, I am open to do an entire Delamain company analysis video, potentially in the future. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I didn't do face cam for it, I'm testing something new, and I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and comment what you want me to do next. I think I'm going to do Johnny Silverhand's pistol next, because I have some really interesting comparisons that I want to try to draw to figure out how much that thing would be worth on like the black market or something like that. Anyways, thank you, please subscribe if you enjoyed, so that way you can see the next one. Latest.